everybody, what's up? If you're new around here, my name is Hannah Martin and today we are going to be talking about pointe shoes. I know you guys always ask me so many questions, so I thought why don't I just answer them all in one single video. I don't have the best feet. I am working on them. We keep on doing the exercises. We will get there in the end. Not all shoes look good on my feet. Some people have banana feet. Their shoes always look just like amazing. That was not the case with my feet. I tried on loads of different shoes and the one that kind of stuck with me at first was the Ballet Diva. So the Ballet Diva looks like this. It's got like the purple inside. This is the first shoe that I put on and I actually liked the way that my foot looked in it. I remember when I was preparing for my first principal role with the Southern Youth Ballet in Pineapple Pole, got my first pair of Divas and I was so excited to find a shoe that finally kind of looked okay on my foot. Then a couple years later, much to my delight, Ballet brought out another shoe, which was the Chloe. So this one actually has a blue inside, which is quite cute. I tried these on and they looked even better than the Divas. I feel like they're a little bit softer in the arch, which definitely helped me. I have quite strong feet, but I need that little bit of help with the arch because genetics didn't really give me that. I have been on a bit of a journey in the last month or so because I wanted to try out the shoes because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just wearing Ballet because they look nice. Perhaps there was a shoe that looked even nicer. I tried Grishko, I tried Russian Point, and I tried Block. The Block ones I didn't mind. They just looked heavy. So I tried these, which are the Block races. As you can see, they are extremely well worn from much beating and dancing. I did wear them completely through this pair and I didn't mind them. They were okay. They just did not flatter my feet quite like the Merlets did. I then tried the Grishkos. They are so loud. I wore them for a good like few weeks and the sound didn't go away. It was like constant. Grishkos work for some people, you know, Blocks might work for others, but for me, I just couldn't get the sound out of these shoes. I was banging them on walls, I was banging them on doorposts. They were very hard as well, which obviously we'd already established my feet need that little bit of extra arch for me to be happy with them. And they didn't cause me any problems with my actual feet. They weren't like super comfortable. The most recent ones that I wore, this is where I have to stress, you have to get your shoes fitted well, otherwise there is problems. You wonder why you have to book a fitting and go through all the palaver, but trust me, if you don't, you can be in so much pain. I got the Russian Points fitted on my feet. I never really tried Russian Points before, so I wanted to see how they look. When I got them, I was like, oh, they look quite nice, they look quite tapered, they bring in that metatarsal, but 3 days in, I feel like I might have got a size too small or something, but I developed the worst blister in my entire life. It was so painful. Whenever I went up on pointe, I just was in so much agony. I also had a load of auditions coming up, so that was not helpful. I ended up wearing the dead Blocks because those other ones were just too painful to wear. They also had quite sharp ridges on the shoe, so when you were trying to balance, you'd be like always toppling with the ankle. So if you wanted to wear the Russian Points, I would try and like, have you ever seen those like graters where they try and like bring down this part of the shoe because it was quite difficult to balance? Whereas with the Merlets, I don't find that. You have a little bit more of a flatter platform to like bounce on. You don't want blisters like that. Like a blister and then it was a bruise because I put on shoes that were like way too small for that foot because I have one foot slightly bigger than the other. So the Russian Points just really did not agree with my feet. I mean, I feel like Ballet and me were destined to be together, so that is why Ballet shoes are the ones that I kind of live by. Definitely recommend, if you haven't found your Cinderella shoe yet, try out the Merlets because they worked for me. They could work for you, but again, everyone's individual, so they could work for you, they could not, but I definitely would recommend giving them a go. They are like one of the comfiest shoes I have worn out of all the different brands I've tried. Story time out my system. I'm going to answer some of the questions that you've sent in for me on Instagram. If you guys want to take part in stuff like this, make sure to go follow me, HannahMartinRG. I will link it down in the description box below. Do you darn your pointe shoes? I probably should. I want to learn. My mum darned my newest set of pointe shoes. I want to see how it is. I've never actually danced on darned pointe shoes, so I'm not sure what difference it's going to make, but I wanna see. So I will let you guys know. It's quite surprising that I haven't done them before. I probably should have. How do you break them in as quickly as possible? So when I was younger, breaking pointe shoes in was a task, especially because these feet were not the best. When I got these point shoes, which was about a couple weeks ago, I put them on the radiator. Be careful, obviously, but sometimes I put them over the radiator for 5 to 10 minutes just to warm them up. Wear them at home with big fluffy socks on because it's the heat and the moisture, so like if you sweat in them, that's what's going to make them break easier. Also, like just walking on them like on releve, I think that really helps to break them in, because obviously you need to be able to roll through that shoe. Also, like if you want to give them a little bit of a bend to start with, don't do it too much or you'll completely kill them before you even dance on them, but just do give them a bit of a bend, give them a bit of a bash. To get some of the noise out of them. But everyone's got their own way of kind of like breaking them in. Maybe that'd be a cool video, like different methods of breaking point shoes in, and I get you guys to let me know. But I've heard some people microwave them. I mean, that just blows my mind. Microwave point shoes. Let me know if you've ever done that before, because I wanna know the outcome. Like, did the microwave explode or did the point shoe explode? Which one went first? So I heat them up, wear them with socks a bit, but generally I just like to put them on in class, and that is how I break them in. But just be careful of blisters, because when they're really hard, you can more easily get a blister. Future Hannah here talking. Just wanted to pop in here and say that I wish I took my own advice, because exactly 1 week after filming this video, I broke in 2 new pairs of point shoes back to back and got the worst blisters ever. And I had so many rehearsals and they were very painful. So guys, listen to your own advice sometimes, because it really might help you in life. Right, enough of Future Hannah, let's get back to the video. How old was I when I got my first pair of point shoes? I was 12 years old. Obviously my teacher said I was ready to go on point because my feet were strong enough. So always listen to what your teacher says if you're ready to go on point or not, because if you go on point too early, that could be really dangerous. What was it like when you bought your first pair of point shoes? I feel like everyone anticipates like this amazing moment when you put these shoes on and you know you're destined for greatness. But I remember putting them on and I didn't understand what the big deal was about. Everyone was like, oh, it's so painful being up on your toes. And I didn't realise what that meant until you're up on point for about 3 hours a day. Then you realise. Before I was like, this isn't that painful. And I was just like kind of releveing along in the point shoe shop like, oh, what's the big deal about? Everyone's just being a bit of a wuss. And then I danced on them for 3 or 4 hours. And then I realised, actually, yes. If you don't have blisters, point work isn't that painful. If you have blisters, point work is another level. Do you have any ways to make your point shoes last longer? For me, because I don't have like the most amazing arches, my point shoes do last quite a long time. Also because I have quite strong feet, even when they do break, I can kind of make them last that little bit extra. My teacher used to say you could shellac them, so you can put like shellac in the shoe and then it hardens the shank again. Also taking your point shoes out of your bag in the evening, so obviously you've worn them, you've sweated in them, and that makes them soft, and if you leave them in your bag when they're all a bit wet and sweaty, it's going to make them break down easier. Try and dry them out after classes and rotate pairs of point shoes. So if you have 2 pairs of point shoes, maybe wear 1 pair one day, dry them out the next while wearing another pair, and like kind of alternate them. I feel like I'm just wiggling around this point shoe. How long did it take for you to find the right pair of point shoes? So I never want to say I found the complete pair of point shoes that I'm going to use for the rest of my life, because ballet is a journey, as in everything with your technique, with your point shoes. It's all like a learning experience. But at the moment, the Merlets are what is working for me. But say I found my first pair of Merlets, which were the Divas, in 2017. And then I found the Chloes, I think in 2019, so it did take me, obviously I was 12, Hannah's got to do maths now. So it did take me a good 4 or 5 years to find the kind of shoe that I enjoyed working in. So it's just a process. So just try as many pairs as you want, and you will generally rotate towards one shoe that you find the most comfortable and you like dancing in the most. Do you use suede tips, darn, rosin, or any other method of making them anti-slip? So if I am not at school, because we're not allowed to use rosin at school, I will use rosin. But I actually don't find these are too slippy. I don't really darn my point shoes, but I think it might be something I might start to do now that I'm doing more complex movements and work on point. Thoughts on Gain and Minden? I just remember I wasn't really allowed to use them because my ballet teacher wasn't that into the Gain and Mindens, but I have nothing against them. I have tried on Gain and Mindens in the shop and they look so pretty, and I've always wanted to get them. And it will be like learning point again. Yeah, you don't break them in. They stay exactly how they are for like a good like month or whatever, it's a different sensation when I put them on, because they're obviously very different to the normal point shoes. I definitely want to try them maybe when I'm a professional, but right now I'm sticking with the Merlets because I think they are what are working for my feet at the moment. How do you keep them on whilst jumping? I hope you're well. I hope you're well too. Jumping in point shoes is a nightmare sometimes, because I definitely find that the backs like to slip off. And the way I've stopped them slipping off is putting elastic on the back. Usually you have to get this quite tight. I do put an elastic around the back. Don't look at my awful sewing. Because especially when I'm breaking in a new pair of point shoes, the backs of them just slip off all the time. So definitely putting elastic on there does help. The more you break in the shoes, the more they'll mold to your foot, so the less likely they are going to be slipping off your ankles. I'm just about to go on point in the next few months. Have you got any advice? Oh, so exciting. I always remember getting my first pair of point shoes. Just make sure you're doing lots of strengthening, lots of releves. Listen to your teachers, they know you best, they know what's best for you. So keep listening to them, what they're doing to prepare you to go on point, and just enjoy the magical experience. So I think that is a majority of the questions. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Guys, if you have any more questions below and you want me to do a part 2, comment them down below and I will see if we'll do another part. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope some of these tips or tricks or just my story is a little bit helpful for you. And if you aren't motivated yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of our motivating community. It's completely free, and keeping updated with everything that's going on here on this channel. We do lots of awesome different types of content, so I hope you'll enjoy. Keep strong guys, dream big and make it happen.